Hello, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. Another week of Manchester United transfer news, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a good week this week. Welcome. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news, giving you that real fan opinion and talking through what is going on in the press, and there's a lot to get through today. We're going to start off with James Rodriguez back in again. He's like a yo-yo. He goes up, he comes down, he goes up, he goes down. He's back in again. Apparently, this is reported by a Spanish newspaper that James Rodriguez has agreed terms with Manchester United, but the deal might take a while. I mean, talk about hedging your bets. Look, there's a lot of us would like James Rodriguez to come to Manchester United. I know there's a lot of you who would like him. Wand of a left foot and all of that. He's a very, very good player, and if he did come to United, he would improve us. Certainly, a player of that quality would improve us. But there's big buts in relation to this, and I ain't talking about Jennifer Lopez. I'm talking about Rodriguez and whether he'll come to United, because the big issue that I always feel is Real Madrid. Dealing with Real Madrid is very difficult unless you're going to hand them David De Gea, and we don't want to do that. James Rodriguez will want to come to Manchester United. He's leaving Real Madrid, the biggest club in the world at the moment, based on what they're winning. There's only a few clubs that you want to go to after Real Madrid when you're in your mid-20s and you've got a point to prove, and Manchester United would be one of those. The stumbling blocks really are, one, dealing with Real Madrid, two, whether Jose Mourinho really wants him, which I have my doubts about, three, if there's potentially anybody better than James Rodriguez. And when I say better, James Rodriguez would probably be our star signing of the summer. And at the moment, it's a bit early to commit to that, because Mbappe, no one knows what's happening with him. Gareth Bale, there's talk about him leaving. Ronaldo even is a far-fetched one. Dembele at Dortmund. There's a lot of other options, and whether you want Rodriguez or ahead of all those is another matter. But it's interesting that he does keep getting mentioned by us, by the press. So if you want him, hang on in there. I'd certainly take him if none of them other players are available. So I would not be against that. But also, I must mention Andres Pereira. I want him to have big involvement for Manchester United next season. I feel he's ready. He's spent a whole season playing in first team football in Spain and basically been as good as anybody else, really. So I want to see him given a chance at Manchester United. And Rodriguez coming in could hinder that, and personally I would rather see Pereira. I know that's controversial, but I would. The next player I want to talk about is Matic. This has reared its head again. Personal terms apparently agreed and expected to sign this week. We spoke about this on Friday. New news last night when we were live on the show from ESPN and Mark Ogden, who does have links to Manchester United. Where is credibility at the moment? Well, where's any journalist's credibility at the moment? It's very hard to gauge. What I would say is, on the Fabinho story, you've got Di Marzio, Italian press as well, saying that he will sign for Manchester United. You've got British press like the Daily Mail and Manchester Evening News saying that Fabinho won't sign for Manchester United. So it's very, very interesting. I'm hoping that the Fabinho deal will happen. Fantastic article on the United Stand website yesterday about Fabinho and how he compares against the rest of the defensive midfielders in world football at the moment. And that will really show you what I've been saying. I want him to come to Manchester United, but if we don't get him, I certainly won't be flipping around and going, oh, I'd never really liked him anyway. Whoever gets him, and I hope it is us, I will be saying they're getting a very good player. So I hope it's us. As for Matic, personally, I just don't want him. I don't want him. I'm not going to change my opinion on him. I don't think he had a particularly good season last year. Why we'd want to sign players from Chelsea that they don't want, I don't know. I'd rather we just looked elsewhere than him. And £40 million is way, way, way too much. Way too much. We're doing Chelsea a favour. I don't want to do Chelsea favours. But Fabinho, I hope it will happen. And going back to what I was saying at the start of the week, I expect this week, by next Sunday night anyway, I expect us to have signed 2 players. Maybe that's a bit optimistic, but when you look at it, it just makes sense. In a week's time, it will be the start of July. We'll be 1 week off the start of the players coming back. Hardly any time till they go on the US tour. Mourinho want the players in, and I think this week there's no reason why deals can't be done. People will be coming back from holiday. In relation to Perisic, Inter Milan have got to sort out by the 30th of June whether they're playing the financial fair play, which means they're going to have to sell somebody. I think United might have played the long game on there, and it could be a good game. So if I was guessing, I would say Perisic and Fabinho or Matic, I think, this week. But Morata, I think, will go into July, and obviously I think James Rodriguez will as well. But I must also add Gareth Bale again. I keep mentioning, so many people keep contacting us and saying Gareth Bale. to Manchester United isn't as far-fetched as people think. So I'll keep telling you that. I still think, you know, Manchester United can do anything, but you know, it's very hard. It's very hard to sign somebody of that quality. But I do, you know, personally, I would not say no to Gareth Bale. I know some people would, but I don't understand why. You know, local lad Lingard or Gareth Bale. But no, I would take Bale, but I'm not expecting it. But expect the unexpected at Manchester United. Great start to the week. Lots of positivity. Let's try and continue it on. I don't want to hit the dips. I know we have the highs and lows, and it's up and down, up and down. But this week, I want to try and keep it up on the highs, and you should too. And it's a Monday, so let's try and keep the mood up. So thanks everyone for watching. Drop a like on the video. Get commenting below on everything. Rodrigo's back in the frame. That'll please somebody. Let's see what today holds. We have been going live at lunchtime as well for the last few days, so there might be something that happens at lunchtime. We might see you then as well. But drop a like, get commenting below, and I'll speak to you all later. And if not at lunchtime, remember 8:30 tonight is Skype Goldbridge, so you get to Skype in and have your say. Look forward to that. Always one of my favourite shows of the week. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you all very soon.